Okay, Rachel.
Good morning. How you doing?
Awesome.
Good morning, Rachel.
Good morning, Jam.
Thank you for joining us on this not so blue Monday. Clearly,
it's absolutely not a blue Monday. It's a brilliant Monday. What a great start. I mean, obviously you guys started before I woke up, but it's been brilliant.
Only about 7.5 hours ago, but yeah.
Did you catch? Oh, you got in on the mic poetry stuff. Did you hear the third? Oh, beautiful, wasn't it?
Both of them, and it's brilliant because obviously I'm doing some work with Mike at Concrete Rose currently, and I've also done some work with Form the Future, and I'm going to be doing some enterprise days with you guys actually with Form the Future. So it's great to have two people on before me that I know really well, and I've got a real respect and appreciation. We're family. We are family.
I wanted to play music the whole day, but I did even try to play some cheeky music.
Oh earlier, Facebook banned us at 4 a.m. It was a nightmare.
Really?
So there is about a 10-minute clip or 10-minute session of me just with my headphones in dancing.
Yeah, she needed to jam. If you fast forward to,
I know, maybe 3 a.m.
It was about
3 a.m.
It was about 3 a.m. where Jam has completely lost it. She's got headphones on. She's dancing silent disco behind me. No one's watching. I'm sat here configuring a MailChimp or something. I don't know. It was so weird. Anyway, that's not what we're here to talk about. It was so random. Beautiful. Look, there you go. Straight away.
Oh, Matthew. Morning, Rachel. Great to see you part of the mission again. Oh, bless him.
Always. And did you look pink?
I think Anne just knew, didn't she?
Yeah, she knows.
Though I am having a bit of a sweat on, I must admit. That's what happens when you get to your 40s.
No.
Those hot flushes. Yeah.
So for anyone who doesn't know who Rachel is, which are just they must be in a different part of the universe or something, can you just give us a quick who you are, what you're up to, and most importantly, I'm going to start instead of finishing with that. Start with what you're excited about in 2022.
Brilliant. So I'm Rachel. I am the founder of Get Synergised, and I'm a consultant, and I work with businesses, charities, and the public sector to build thriving communities. And I think we've already talked about it in the last two speakers you had in terms of looking out for those in communities that need to give opportunities. And I'm really passionate. Mike and I started doing outreach work, youth outreach work many years ago. And that really inspired me to care for the disadvantaged in our communities and create opportunities. And I think those three sectors collaborating together, and today is a great example of that. I really think we can really inspire change and create opportunities for those that need it. And so I do that. I run training workshops, getting business, charities, public sector together, and help all sectors just look at their strategy on how they can better build partnerships. So that's what I do. And what am I excited for this year? Well, I got married about a year ago. And I'm excited. We just did our sort of last white wedding celebration in December. And as that's now finished and we're in 2022, I'm really excited about looking at what me and my husband are going to do together in terms of our passion. We have a real heart for hospitality in our home and having people over that are having a bit of a tough time. So we're going to be doing more of that in 2022. So I'm excited to grow with him and see what we can do together, really.
That's wonderful. I love that. It's good to do. I don't think there's enough emphasis on that in terms of everyone makes a lot of plans for themselves, don't they? Like their personal goals. But there's a lot to be said for. I mean, Christine and I do that every year. As you know, we go away, we do our digital detox, and we always kind of spend some time separate on. What do I want to achieve this year? What do I want to strive for this year? Christine will do the same, and then we'll spend a day on what do we want to achieve this year as a relationship. And I think that's so powerful as a concept.
Yeah, absolutely. We live in Cambridge and we're in a 1-bedroom flat, which is brilliant. I feel really blessed. Talking about blessings, to live here, it's fabulous. But actually, in terms of creating some space that people might want to come, I think going forward, I think we'd like to be hosts for Concrete Rose. Mike will talk about supported lodgings coming up. And it's something that we'd like to open our home, particularly to guys with mental health issues, the experience my partner's had and various things like that. So, yeah, that's part of our kind of bigger mission. I don't see my work disconnected from my life. It's all part of me. It's the whole thing.
You are
Yeah.
blended into synergy.
She's synergized.
Synergized.
Synergized. Yeah.
Love it. Living the brand.
Yeah.
What do you? So I think it's we can't have you here with the amount of exposure you have across sector without asking a question around what are some of the challenges that are being faced or at least what are you seeing the challenges that are being faced by the charity, third sector, and businesses that you're engaged with, because you're engaged in so many, and you're by the way, I just want to give you a shout out because like your the networking event, say the name, sorry.
Networking with Purpose.
Networking with Purpose. I knew the purpose was in there. My brain wasn't working at all, understandably, I hope. Connected me and others with so many people. It was ridiculous in that, and it was just so well run. Your exposure across sector is unique, I think. And I would just be really interested just to hear your general thoughts on what the landscape looks like for us all in 2022. Is it one of optimism? Where do you sit?
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think we know that the charity sector has been hit hard. Some charitable organisations haven't survived. Others have thrived, like Red Hen, doing brilliant work in the communities with the support of Cambridge Fruit Company. Big shout out to Neil, who's an absolute legend. Don't know Neil, get to know Neil, get his fruit boxes in your home, in your business. Little plug there for him. He's brilliant. Great collaborative partnership between them two, looking at poverty in the city. And I think of Cambridge here, I think the issues in our society are, as we know, have become a lot more rife, and therefore the need. We talked about mental health this morning, and I think it's impacting lots of people in different ways. And I think the charitable sector is really trying to provide that, but actually it won't be able to manage the needs in our communities on its own. So it's going to need the public sector and businesses to come alongside. And my view, since COVID, I've had more and more businesses reach out to me and say, I want to engage more in my local community, which is what I'm really passionate about, because my business model really is to work with businesses to be able to give free back to the charitable organisations, my skills and my knowledge. That's what I'm working towards. So to see more businesses, and I think they're realising that it's not just about money, but it's about sharing of skills and resource. And we've talked about it with Form the Future about business partners coming in and sharing. And I think I'm just seeing the sectors having an appetite to want to collaborate and more meaningfully, not just ticking a box.
Yeah, and
that's really exciting.
I think it is exciting, isn't it? And it's wonderful when we sat here. We spent 3 hours of our late night shift building CatBud. As you know, CatBud is the first social enterprise that I've been directly involved in like this from the startup, and it's. For me, I mean, we said it, didn't we? We literally said, I don't understand why anyone would start a business from scratch now that didn't have some kind of social enterprise element baked into it from the start. And quite frankly, I would go as far to say they shouldn't.
Yeah.
How do you think of that?
Yeah, absolutely. I think it should be embedded in terms of an element of how do we engage in our community and give back, and how do we think about solving societal issues. And Jamala talked about creating those opportunities for her, and I think you talked about, Jamala, you talked about your social mobility, and actually how many of those people got together to help you to become where you are now. And I think that
I just feel like the term giving back just like seems like charity, and just seems like, just a bit, I don't know, condescending is the right word, or patronizing, but like for me, it's just the case of, if you're going to do something in the space, you do it to move forward. Like, so just see it as giving forward, like you're contributing to, making things better, or just making things easier. So for me, it's a case of like, I didn't see a path. How do I create a pathway?
Yeah, creating those
path. So it's not a case of like, I'm giving back. It's like I'm really driving forward.
Yeah, driving change. And I think I really get excited when I see businesses saying, well, actually, how can we, through our services and our skills, actually bring about systemic change in our communities? Because there's often that knowledge and that skill set that the charitable sector needs. And actually, if we share those resources, gosh, I think you're right. Every business should have social purpose as part of their fabric of their business plan. Absolutely.
Yeah,
I think those that
all of
aren't, I think those that aren't are going to fall behind. So it's brilliant to see. I'm really excited to hear more about Catbud.
Yeah.
Oh,
Well, you
honestly.
will at 12:30. Is it?
12:30.
Yeah.
Guys,
I'm
I'm
tuning
not
in.
gonna be sleeping. I'm gonna be like half asleep, like
Oh,
mumbling,
shut up.
like-
You'll be fine.
Oh,
That's
You'll
when I'm
You're
gonna take
amazing.
my next dose of caffeine. I
be fine.
need a 6-hour break.
Okay. All right. Fine.
It's amazing.
We'll get you. So, no, I love this, Rachel. I love how energized you are towards this, and the amount of energy you're putting into it as well. I know I know you and your partner have been through a lot of challenges over the last year or so. In terms of you personally, I also know how giving you are, and as someone who think I'm similar sense that we give a lot.
Yeah.
How do you maintain your mindset? How do you maintain your mental fitness? Is there certain things that you do? Because you bear a lot on your shoulders in the work that you do, and you've seen a lot. And I'm just interested to see where you are, because last year I remember having a conversation with you last year, and you were really open with us, and it was profound. But where are you now in that process, and where are you with your mindset now?
Yeah, great question. It's been a real last 2 years of change. You know, I've lived majority of my life on my own, and getting married and having a partner move in and having to adjust to that, to then going through as a female, some perimenopausal stuff has been a real challenge with anxiety, trying to keep my business afloat, and then still trying to do what I passionately believe in, and creating those opportunities for people that need to be given a voice, really. And so I think for me, it's been around trying to find, I think we talked earlier about balance. I think I picked up on the very first part of what Mike and you guys were talking about. And I think it's about balance. It's about going, okay, there's a certain element where I can give, but there's a certain element I need to receive. I need to be around people that are going to inspire me and energize me. But I love just chilling and resting a little bit. I tend to not work too late in the evening, so I get that balance right. I've just got a personal trainer as well. And we were talking about the 5 ways to well-being that Ali mentioned. And I think physical activity is one of the things I've really enjoyed. I've been inspired by Jamala's journey, which has been fabulous. So I have a personal trainer, which I actually got on board.
Rachel, do you follow me?
Yeah, man.
Oh my God, I want to follow you back right now. Oh,
I think
Rachel.
you do. I think you do. Yeah. So fitness. So I've got a personal Hales, Get Synergised, HALES.
I do follow you.
I got a personal trainer, so we go and work out for an hour outside, and I got that because I wanted to try and make sure I fitted in my wedding dress, because I've been married for a year and I put on loads of weight. So but that worked really well, and I've just kept going. So it's looking after my well-being. But I love that those 5 ways to well-being, and the bottom one talks about give, and it actually does something for you. And I think it's every individual should look at how they do that. But I think it's really important that you don't pour from an empty cup.
Yes.
And that you make sure so I think I'm quite boundaried. I did a lot of social work, community work, and I think I had to learn where to shut the door and where to switch off. So I think I've learned that a bit, if that answers your question.
Boundaries are definitely important. I feel like, but for like bad experiences, sometimes we can have bad experiences and we can have too many boundaries up that just stop us from having that opportunity of just giving. Just giving freely, because it's just so amazing when you can do that and you're in a position to do that. But I feel like when you've been scarred so much and you've just gone through, like you've been hurt, like essentially what it makes you do is just put your barriers up where you're just so protecting your space and your energy, and you're blocking. Like I said, I'm gonna keep saying you're blocking your blessings, because if you just put those walls down, you can really, do something that's gonna make you feel amazing. Forget what it's going to do for somebody else. Like, it's going to make you genuinely feel incredible.
And it does. And I think it does change, and it keeps your perspective good. It keeps you, particularly when you're sort of thinking a bit like, oh, woe is me. Actually, when you realise there's other people facing real challenge, and it actually keeps you quite humble. But the other thing I learned this year as well is about saying no. I think sometimes when you have a tendency to sort of see opportunities and think, great, 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 I've really learned a lot about actually it's okay to say no. And it's really important that you stay in your lane, the bits that you know that you're really good at, and be okay with the bits that you're not. And I've really learned that this year. And I think that's helped me with boundaries and making sure that I'm not overstepping, but actually, does it align to my values? Are these the kind of partners I want to work with? Are these the kind of businesses that really want to engage in their community? They're the people I want to work with, not the ones who just want to, you know, tick a box, as I said.
Yeah, and I've seen it through the stories that you've told me and personal experiences. Charities don't want that anyway. They want that. I mean, I still come back to the point. As soon as we start making this about entities collaborating together, regardless whether they're social enterprise, B Corp, limited, partnership, sole trader, charity, whatever, foundation, that's just an asset setup class. That's just a fundamental of how it's set up. We're still all entities and we're still all trying to do things. And if you just remove that completely, then you lose that problem with the whole give it back thing. And because there is a lot of mindset issues, isn't there, when it comes to businesses and charities working together? There's a lot of mindset challenges there in terms of, you know, imposter syndrome comes into play. You see, I don't know, egos getting away sometimes of things. You know, there's a lot of factors that come into play. And you know, I don't know, maybe you could share maybe an example or two of where it really does work, where there is ultimate synergy, whether that's a human to human example or a business to charity example, whatever.
Yeah, I think managing expectations of both sides, and I guess that's why I come in, because I've got a huge background in the public and charity sector, and also I have worked in business, and so I'm kind of like put myself in the middle to try and broker those partnerships. And I think it's about expectation, and it's about both parties going, actually, can we work together? Are we mutually aligned? Do we get on as people? And do we want to work towards the same values, the same mission, and the same goal? And networking with purpose, it's been brilliant, actually. We're planning in 2022, this year, a couple of months, to actually get everyone together in person.
Yes.
So there'll be about 50 of us in the room. And then I'm going to be getting people to...
Yes, take a moment, guys.
We've got a really nice hotel in Cambridge that is willing to host, provide some breakfast. And I'm going to get everyone together so they can meet in person, all those charities and businesses that came, all together about 50. And I'm going to get them to share what's happened since Networking with Purpose and the collaborations that have happened. And there's been so many, but one I was particularly inspired by is Tracy Wilkinson from After Umbridge.
I love Tracy. I love that woman.
They provide a cottage for people who have been caring for family members just as a bit of respite. And then on Networking with Purpose, there was Claire Morris, absolutely fabulous around helping businesses look at their business plan, their structure, and providing support for small, medium-sized businesses. And Claire had an experience of caring for her family, and she connected quite quickly with Tracy in terms of value base. But then what was brilliant was when they reached out to each other. So I said, have a conversation and see how you might want to work together. They picked up the phone, had a chat, realized they had so much in common. But actually, Tracy really needed some help around business planning and future thinking. And Claire is skilled at that. And so they built this brilliant partnership, and they've been working together. But it's so mutually aligned, but that actually where both sides are adding value. And I think that's the thing I really want to see with partners between businesses and charitable organizations. It's not about this charities going, please help me. It's actually, do you know what, we can add huge value to one another, because charities have such wealth of knowledge and experience, and businesses bring that too. And actually you put that together and you've got this mutually beneficial partnership that's reciprocal. And that's when the magic really happens. And that's what I've been seeing since I've been doing my work. I could give you countless examples of the clients I've been working with, but that's one based on what you asked.
Yeah.
I won't do too many.
No, and it's a great example because she's a Shifties member as a result of her job coming to Network.
Win-win.
Win-win situation.
Tracy's lovely.
Love
I love
it.
Tracy.
She's fab. Yeah.
So what else? So what else in terms of 2022? I'm just conscious of the time,
Yeah.
Rachel. In terms of
We've
important,
got to change to a different link as
we've
well.
got to change to a different stream as well.
Brilliant.
So just in terms of important messages, because your voice, I think, is so important in our community. Important messages for us as individuals when we're talking about mental fitness, when we're talking about collaboration, community, which are kind of all core values that really sit with you. What's on your mind when we start saying those words? What comes to the front of your mind?
I would say being your authentic self. I know we talk a lot about authenticity and it's a word we use, but actually I think it's really showing up as you. And I don't think that, I think that takes away the comparison. It takes away the fear of I'm not good enough, and actually saying, what's my unique contribution? Because we're all unique and we're all different. And I've been working with Atonia Brickell, looking at storytelling and helping charitable organisations tell their stories more authentically. But it's not about telling it on behalf of this charity. It's actually getting into the story yourself. How does it matter to you? What do you care about? And I think people need to show up and not be afraid to be there, what they care about and what's important to them. And I think I've personally gone on my own journey, and I started some rebranding. So I kept looking at my website going, Rachel's not on the page. I'm writing about somebody that doesn't look like me. And I was just like, I really need to show up as me and actually not be afraid of that. And I just encourage people to just take their own journey and not compare yourself to other people, and do what your unique contribution is. And I think that's when you really fulfill your purpose and your calling and your drive for the future, because you're not trying to be somebody else.
That's beautiful, Rachel. So powerful. Like,
yeah,
it's so inspiring and it's brave. Like, people underestimate how brave it is to really show up as who you are and like have that courage. And only when you display that courage can you encourage another person. But like, Rachel, I'm proud of you. I'm inspired by you. Thank you so much for like being here and just sharing your story and your journey. Like, thank you.
Rachel is like, that's why I love Rachel so much. You're always authentic. You should hear the voice messages between me and Rachel.
I love when people
always straight up, Rachel.
Because that's me. Like, I'm straight up jam, and I feel like I'm not for everyone. Put it that way. Some people prefer, you know, Marmite or whatever it is. But they might not want jam on their toast, but it's always
be more Marmite.
Yeah, man.
But actually that's all right. And that's another journey to go. Not everyone's going to like you, and that's okay.
Yeah, it is okay. It's not the end of the world.
I don't have to.
Has just risen.
You've got to focus on what you're meant to be doing. Not if you worry too much about what people think, you're never going to get anywhere. And I love that about both of you, you know, your drive, and that's what keeps us going. Of course, we need to be considerate of others and mindful of others, and we're in community, absolutely. But we just need to be who we are. That's personally my journey. You probably wouldn't have thought, I think coming into this new sector and setting up a business from scratch that I couldn't really model on many other people was a bit of a going out there. And I didn't have that comparison, but I also then was a bit like, what am I doing? And I think, actually, I've learned to just, step into who I want to be and just embrace it. So there we go.
We love you, Rachel. And
Alex,
big shout out, Alex Elbro. Thank you for your support.
Morning, Alex. Morning.
Love Alex.
Yeah, she's legend. Awesome, Rachel. I love you so much. Thank you so much
you
for
guys
being
too.
yourself.
Thanks for this.
For all your support, as always, for this campaign. It's always a real emotional challenge.
Rachel, I've DM'd you, so like, let's pick off offline.
Jam's all over it. You DMing everyone.
You're gonna be so busy, Jam.
I love it. I'll start work. I'm gonna try and start at 8 so I can finish at 4.
Well, you do whatever you got to do.
Thank you for staying for me as well, Jam. I really appreciate that. It's really nice.
I've met like meeting like just everyone, Mike, Anna, Rachel. Like, it's just been great. It's been great.
Awesome.
Right. I'll let you go.
I'm gonna go to move into the other stream. Rachel, thank you so much as always. I'll see you soon.
That's the 8 hours, guys.
Oh,
keep being brilliant, Jam.
What colour?
Oh, what were the options? Red,
green, blue, red. Red. We do red.
Yeah, red. Yeah,
red
go.
Boom.
Well, have a great day, Rachel.
Yes,
too,
Rachel.
bye.
Morning. Guys,
Take care.